pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Larry Cohen.
Here.
Betsy Dennis.
Here.
Jennifer Edge.
Absent.
Tracy Annalek Everett.
Here.
Christine Galvo.
Here.
Frank Garnett.
Here.
Georgia Patchen.
Here.
Bill Zab.
Excused.
Melissa Thompson.
Here. Dr. Dorwood, would you review the fire exits?
Yes, there are 2 fire exits located in the rear of the LGI.
And would you like to introduce our workshop tonight?
Yes, we have 2 parts to our workshop this evening, and we're going to start off with a presentation of the external management report, and we are joined by Mr. Christopher Melly from Nugent and Hausler.
Good evening. Okay. Now I think you have board docs on your computers?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. The financial statement is broken up into 4 parts. We have an opinion on the financial statements. We have an opinion on your internal controls. We have an opinion on your single audit, and we have an opinion on the extra classroom. First and foremost, the district has an unqualified opinion on all 4, which is the highest opinion we can actually grant to the district. So it's something to be proud of. I'd like to thank Emery's office for her due diligence, but her staff as well, for really helping us come through this and making sure we put together a credible financial statement. With their due diligence, they really do make it a pleasure, and they work very hard to make sure they put together credible numbers. So it's a pleasure to actually come here and work with such a happy staff, to be very truthful. And it is something to be proud of. They like to have fun, but they do banter and they get the work done, which is equally as important. So I always go to my favorite pages. There's 2 pages I have in this whole financial statement that are my favorite. And that's page 9 and 10. They're my graphs. What I like about these 2 graphs, it just allows a layperson in a second to digest where the revenues came from and where the expenses went. It allows you to see, property taxes and state aid are your major sources of revenue, and it really shows you that almost 90% of your cost goes to instruction and benefits. So really, your mission of education is where all your costs are, and a very small amount for general support, which is only 9%, which is a pretty amazing number to be very truthful. If you look at page 15, that's statement of net assets. Statement of net assets basically is a business model financial statement. A number of years back, they introduced GAS 34, and they called this an entity-wide statement, which brought it back to a business model. So what happens when someone goes and does financing, they always said the government model was very difficult for a financier to digest because in a government setting, you didn't record liabilities, you didn't record fixed assets. So statement 1 and 2 really put together a business model financial statement for the district. In order to convert to that, I just call your attention if someone wants to look at them in the future. Pages 39 to 41. That tells you line by line how we convert the actual books and records of the district into the entity-wide statements. It'll just tell you things that came on, things that came off. So it's just a nice explanation for numbers that are a little bit difficult to understand, to see how we bring your numbers to the models that the state mandates us to have. Now, if you look at page 15, you're one of my very few districts that have positive equity in the entity-wide statement. Your district is financed relatively well. Not that it doesn't struggle to meet its needs, but you have a strong foundation for maintaining the school district. We have post-employment benefits that are on here that are probably the one big thing right now that's looming over a district, because at this point, New York State does not allow you to fund for it. So on the Anti-White statement, it's an accrual, but on your fund statements where the meat and potatoes are, the state says we can't do anything with it yet. Only New York City at this point can put some money aside to fund the post-retirement benefits of, which is health insurance, generally speaking. Okay. So when we talk about my opinion on internal controls are the policies and procedures the district set up for many people in the district to follow. So what we do is we take your policies and procedures, more importantly the financial side of those policies and procedures, and trace them to a bill. Let's just say a bill. So not to get so technical, we're POs, purchase orders, and stuff of that nature, but basically we trace it to a bill and support. And so what we do is we look at the district wants X in procedures, and we look at the final product to see, did it pass? And I can say that there wasn't a single issue in disbursements and receipts that we found where we could make a corrective action. They follow procedures, everything's there, the support documents are there, and truly that's something to be, due to the volume that comes through the business office, mistakes can be inherent, and not that there's no specific mistake at all, but we do sampling testing, and our sampling testing goes down to 3 standard deviations. So that's pretty significant testing, and not to find things is pretty good. So it's something to be proud of. Again, for the business office, it's something to be proud of. When we go to our statement on OMB Circular 133A, A133, that's really what happens is the federal government and the state gives you money. The ones that are financed by the federal government were required to, again, look at not only your compliance issues, but as well as the federal government's compliance issues. Each program has a circular, which we have to go through and basically test each individual event to make sure that not only you comply with your expectations, but also the federal government's expectations. And once again, we found no material weaknesses there, and we gave a clean opinion. You get almost $2.7 million in grants, and that's a pretty big number for us to find nothing on. Okay. For our last opinion would be the opinion on extra classroom. Extra classroom is the student activity funds, which is driven by the students having advisors and officers, and they will raise money for sports or raise money for yearbook, I'm just saying softball, whatever. But, when we look at this, it's a hard program to run because it's run by the kids, and so it has inherent mistakes that can happen because really it's about teaching the kids how to do money and how to handle it, how to raise it, how to account for it, how to deposit it, how to spend it, and how to adhere to procedures. And overall, for here, they do pretty good. The very few issues to deal with. I would say you have the least issues I've ever dealt with this year for having student activity funds. Again, something that, tone at the top pierces down, and people are trying to make sure they account for everything. So when I look at these things, it's inherent for mistakes, and our testing that we sampled was very good. We also issue what's called the management letter. The management letter is events that we felt we should stand out and we'd ask you to consider. The only thing I'd like to talk about openly would be, we always discuss the smallness of business offices. So when you're adopting policies and procedures, we just want to make you aware that you want to make sure there's cross-training going on and that internal controls are thought of when implementing policies. Because you want to make sure that the person who, for something simple, isn't recording the check, writing the check, and reconciling the check. So overall, for us here, we've expanded our testing because it's a smaller office, found no instances of error. But because it's a smaller office, you just want to make sure, as you implement new policies and procedures, that you always keep that in the back of your mind, is how is this going to affect my internal controls? And if there's a crossover duty, how am I going to support that to make sure it's running smoothly? And if you look at the management letter, I'm going to say in the olden days, I probably would have 9 pages of comments. We're down to less than half a page. And they're not material in nature, but it's an event to say, it's something to consider. And they're minimal, and they, you know, if I found something bigger, I'd put it in to be very truthful. But you're down to such minimal events. It's something very good to think about. These aren't necessarily criticism. It's just a support to make sure you get stronger and stronger like you have. You know, I think the district has always taken these management letters very seriously, and Emery has definitely taken it very seriously. And it's nice to see that, you know, this is her response to my management letter. First one I have. She's always very proud and takes it seriously and tries to implement new things to make sure it doesn't happen year over year. So again, overall, coming here is a pleasure. Working with the district is an absolute pleasure, and you should be proud of your office.
Thank you. Did anyone
Any
have-
questions or concerns?
Any questions? Thank you, Chris.
I can't thank you
Thank
enough.
you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. And so for our second part of the workshop, it's our board recognition night. And as usually the custom, we have some people who have come out to thank the board. And on our agenda, we'll start off with Ms. Kim Atwell for the Beacon Teachers Association. We're going in order of the agenda.
I see that. Would it be possible if, oh, okay, we're good. I'm nervous there. Good evening, everyone. Ms. Tara Lucido, kindergarten teacher at Barstow with me today. I see some teachers are here as well to support our Board of Education. So, with that said, I'd like to thank the board, and on behalf of the Beacon Teachers Association, I want to take this opportunity tonight to acknowledge and recognize our Board of Education. As school board members, you voluntarily take on the enormous role of governing our school district as you develop policies and make formidable decisions with respect to educational issues and finances, which ultimately affect our schools and community as a whole. As citizen leaders, you are presented with complex and demanding challenges as the requirements set forth by State Education Department, as well as by lawmakers, continues to increase. Yet few fully understand the scope and far-reaching implications of a Board of Education's responsibilities. You consult on many issues and decisions, as well as remain steadfast with the ever-changing educational shifts and demands, while ultimately ensuring that our students are afforded the opportunity to receive the best education possible. Your role as board members may go unnoticed at times, or may be underappreciated by some. Yet you continue to serve the district with integrity, passion, commitment, and dedication. As you are all aware, we have entered into an unprecedented climate in education with many challenges, changes, and deadlines which at times seem unrealistic and unreasonable. We are fortunate to have a Board of Education who values the education of all of our students, who support teaching and learning, and who will work together to ensure the highest quality of education and student achievement for our children in Beacon. The BTA greatly appreciates your dedication and support for our students and staff, and we are thankful for your support and service to our district and look forward to a continued positive relationship as we continue to focus on our journey and goals of improving student achievement together. I sincerely thank all of you for all that you do, for your patience and your understanding. And so in recognition tonight, the BTA would like to present a small token of appreciation for all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome.
And next on the agenda, we have Mr. Eric Romanino for the Beacon Educational Administration Association.
Good evening. On behalf of all the school district administrators, I'd like to thank you for the countless hours you put in as members of the Board of Education. Your dedication to the district and students is appreciated and needs to be recognized. We are here tonight to honor you and celebrate School Board Recognition Night. With so many yearly changes in central administration, the Board of Education has relied on a consistent group of dedicated administrators to carry out the educational goals as well as maintaining the day-to-day operations of our buildings and programs. We are the backbone of the district who, with the support of the Board of Education, has been able to make Beacon a better place for our students. I thought last year was the most difficult year any teacher or administrator could have with the implementation of the APPR. Unfortunately, I was wrong. Year 2 of the APPR and year 1 of the Common Core have brought more challenges and uncertainty. And for those reasons, the BEAA and the Board of Education needs to work collaboratively to overcome the obstacles that lie ahead. Being an administrator and being a member of the Board of Education are difficult jobs. We work countless hours to improve our schools and are often criticized for the decisions we make. But in the end, it is the rewards we reap when we have made Beacon a better place for learning and have created a sense of community pride in our schools. As someone who has been in the district for over 30 years, it is wonderful to see the progress that has been made to improve our school district. This could not be done without you and all the boards of education before you. On behalf of the BEAA, it is a pleasure and an honor to recognize you for your dedication to the students, administrators, teachers, and staff. Thank you for all you do. Thank you.
And last on our agenda is Ms. Alexa Marinaccio, the advisor of the National Honor Society.
Good evening, everyone. Mine's short and sweet. The Student Council at Beacon High School just wanted to say thank you for your dedication, your hard work, all the hours that we know you put in. So we made certificates as well as Alps chocolates. So,
No need to say more.
right? There you go, pick. I don't know if you want dark or milk, Stegosaurus, T-Rex, hearts.
Oh, look at this.
And then there's bears as
Oh,
well.
I'll take a dinosaur.
I thought I had these in order. There you are. I know. Here you go. Oh, you got the bat? That's a nice one.
Bat? You wanted a bat?
Oh.
Chileans?
Oh, it's healthy for you, you know. Full of flavonoids. Did everyone get one?
You're going to leave one for
Yeah. Is he like darker? I don't know if he has a Taurus, so I don't know. Oh.
Bill likes full chocolate.
Well, Stegosaurus, does he like dinosaurs?
He's an old dinosaur.
Hearts or bears? Oh, I have a sheep. I give her a bear. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then I believe that Kelly Apology, the district clerk, has a proclamation to read.
Whereas each year, School Board Recognition Week is observed by the more than 700 school boards and school districts throughout the Empire State. And whereas the men and women serving as members of school boards are dedicated to children, learning, and community, and devote many hours of service to elementary and secondary public education as they continually strive for improvement, excellence, and progress in education. And whereas the members of New York's local school boards respond to the educational needs of the communities they serve, and in doing so, these leaders help strengthen our state's educational system and improve future prospects for our children. And whereas during October 28th, 2013 through November 1st, 2013, special activities and programs will be held in communities across New York State in observance of School Board Recognition Week, and it is fitting to join in acknowledging the commitment and contributions of members of local school boards. Now, therefore, I, Andrew M. Cuomo, Governor of the State of New York, do hereby proclaim this week as School Board Recognition Week in the Empire State.
And then I get to take care of the last two remaining parts of our board recognition. And the first is that we, on behalf of the district, and to show our appreciation, we have pens for each of the board members. So Kelly's going to help me with that. We'll start off with Board President Melissa Thompson. Sure.
You were going to bring it too?
I was going to bring it.
Yeah, we'll bring it home.
Thank you.
Is Bill's on there? Are you?
I left those.
Okay. Let's see. So we'll also we have Frank Garnett. And Tracy Anelek Everett. Georgia Patchett. Christine Galvo. Betsy Dennis. And Larry Cohen. And then the best part of all, we do have a brief reception that we want to hold in the board's honor. So we would invite all of you to join us in the dining area. We have cake and refreshments. Thank you.